Yo, what is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another Rust video on the channel. Today I just wanted to show off my settings because I had a couple people asking me what the settings were. I mean, they're not too bad, but I feel like they could still use some improvement. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I have aim assist on. It's off by default, but it's like if you go into an aim assist server, I have aim assist, so it's like might as well. This is pretty standard. Most of this is default. The one change I do have is control layout. I would swap my special action to head look, and this is really helpful. Head look is really helpful to if you're being chased, you can check your back and like look behind you without actually turning your whole body, and it helps because the animation doesn't show that you're turning around, so it's like you can catch your enemy off guard. Vibration off. I don't know how people play with that. Your hands eventually go numb after shooting so much, and then it just throws me off personally. Quick chat is off. I don't know why it's off. I could turn it on, doesn't matter. Auto sprint off. Crouch to toggle. Some people play with holds like crouch spam. I play toggle because I play claw, so I don't really need to hold it. Aim assist on. Okay, for camera control tab, I think digital boost works really well, and I think these settings are best for muscle memory because I was trying to build them. Since there's no aim assist, you have to build up the muscle memory to know how, like, exactly how to shoot and how much to move your stick. So I keep low sense because I don't. Some people play high sense, which is insane. I actually don't play high sense just because I feel like the more higher you have your sensitivity, the more room you have to miss. But then again, if you're insanely good at it, then I don't see why not. So I have my camera sense on 99, so I don't look too quick. Sensitivity for aiming is 34. This is currently flipped around, so like it's supposed to be like what, 66%, but since there's a bug where it flips the sensitivity, you just subtract your old sensitivity from 100 and the byproduct is this, so it's like 66, and it's not too fast but it's not too slow either, which helps me like around for long range gunfights especially. Camera sense for sprinting is 115, just so like when I'm sprinting I could turn kind of quick but not too quick to where I can't center my aim. Vertical sensitivity, I feel like this is useful just because it doesn't lower the recoil, but I think the stickier your vertical sense is, the less you'll feel the recoil. So for me, that's why I don't really have a problem with recoil, except for probably the AK, just because the sense is putting in the work sometimes. Camera inertia, you want to have camera inertia boost multiplier all the way down. This is just extra delay and movement that the game adds to help the player to feel smoother, but it's not really needed, to be honest, because why would you need it to feel smoother if you want to build it on muscle memory? Just smoothness does not equal muscle memory, and especially in this game, since it's no aim assist, you could really care less. Like, it could feel weird, but as long as you have the muscle memory down, like, you should be able to hit your shot. So you want to turn this off. This is just extra delay and extra input that you don't need. You want to have control of your input 100% of the time, and you don't want nothing else blocking your muscle memory. Final things is dead zone left, dead zone right. I personally like it at 11, just because I can strafe when I want to, and when I barely move the joystick, it strafes by itself. My dead zone right is 3% because I like to manage my aiming and how sensitive it is. I like to micromanage the aiming. A lot of people don't understand dead zone, so like if you don't understand what it means, it's basically how sensitive your joystick is. It's not like sensitivity. It's not a scale. This is more like how barely you touch your joystick. How sensitive do you want it to be? So like if I set it to 0, if I barely touch it, it's gonna go crazy. But the higher you set it, the less prone to sensitive it'll be. For the sense, everything off for this, for inverted. Okay, then for HUD, I just have full. You can see the full HUD scale. I have it on 80 because I feel like I don't want it to be so big to where it blocks my vision. The HUD opacity 100, which is pretty standard. I like to have these on because sometimes I feel like the game feels kind of weird, and when you're sprinting you can't tell whether you're sprinting or not. So having this and the inventory indicator is really helpful, just so you know what position you're in and how much items you have in your backpack or your inventory. And for the audio settings, I have it cranked to 100. The menu music, I don't mind the menu music. I actually like it. It's pretty good. But I turned it down because it can blast your ears sometimes. I have this 200 default. You want to have mostly everything 100 besides the music. I think the biggest thing that makes the biggest difference is the mix for the audio. So it's a lot of people play on night. So if I recommend you play either on Crunch, and I play Crunch just because it reminds me of Super Crunch from Call of Duty, which is like the best sound whoring audio mix. But if you don't want to play that one, another good one is night mode, which is it makes the quieter things louder and the louder things quieter. And my friend plays on this one. He says it's really good, so I actually recommend it. These two are like the go-tos for 100%. And then for enhanced instinct, I have that on just so you can hear the game clear. So it'll prioritize the PvP aspects of the game instead of the more dynamic, like cinematic aspects, if that makes sense. So like the gunshots will be louder, the footsteps will be louder. It even tells you right there on the bottom that the cost of the overall audio experience, but it enhances the gunfire, the wildfire, everything like that. Moving on to graphics, I have depth of field off, screen effects off, sharpening on, vignette off. Basically, I don't know what most of these do. I know screen effects can like turn your screen red when you're like one shot, and it just throws you off. Honestly, it's for me personally, so I don't want extra effects added when I can clearly tell by the HUD that I'm low. And then for sharpening, it's actually kind of nice just because your colors are a little bit brighter and they're a little bit more dynamic. But the image goes down a little bit, but you can't really tell, so I just keep it on. And then vignette, I don't even know what that does. And then for field of view, you want to have this maxed out just because it can give you an advantage in gunfights. So for example, you can be shooting somebody, and then somebody else to the right or to the left pulls up. You can clearly see them in your peripheral vision, which can be restricted at times if you have it at 60. If you have it at 90, for the most part, you can actually see it. Then motion blur, you want to have that off. I don't recommend it because I feel like you might not see the clear image, so you might just keep it off. And brightness, this is key for nighttime. For daytime, you can you can tell the difference because when you turn it on all the way, it's insanely bright. So 2 is kind of overkill unless you don't mind it like affecting your eyes, but I think 1.5 is fine for me. And it makes a big difference because at night you can actually see. Like if you keep it on default, you could feel like the nighttime is dark, but if you boost it over 1, even to 1.5, maybe even 2, you can actually see clear at night. It's like daytime, so you want to have that for sure all the way up, or the most that you want. Alright guys, so just let me know in the comments if you guys actually like these settings or want me to make another video on me using these settings. I know I have a couple highlight videos already out on the channel, so you want to take a look at that. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment to see if the sensitivity or these settings work for you. Let me know how it goes. I actually want to see if people actually like these settings. And I will catch you guys in another one. Peace.